My brothers and sisters, listen carefully, for tonight I speak not of rumor, but of revelation. As the world slept beneath the cover of midnight, engines rumbled across the Sahel. In the silence of that hour, convoys moved through sleeping villages. Only the moon bore witness. As new power arrived unseen, the dust rose behind them like a flag of a continent reborn. And when those engines moved, they didn't just move through sand, they moved through history. That night, Africa did not whisper, it roared. Yes, it is true. Under the cloak of darkness, new machines of defense touched African soil. Rocket systems, fire support vehicles, launchers, built not for conquest, but for sovereignty. We did not beg, we did not borrow. We built, we bought, we believed. For too long, they said, wait for aid, wait for training, wait for permission. But how long shall a continent wait to defend its own children? Tonight, we no longer wait, we rise. Do not mistake this for a mere shipment. This was a signal. Each crate that landed whispered the same truth, that Africa's protection need not carry another nation's flag. Dependency has been the most silent weapon ever aimed at us. They taught us to call it partnership, but we have seen its price. So we turned, not to those who preach freedom and practice control, but to those who offer respect without condition. That night, the desert did not receive weapons. It received dignity. Look back through time, my brothers and sisters. Every time we trusted others to guard our homes, we were left with ashes. Every time we waited for peace missions, we found only more graves. They told us to wait for funds, for coalitions, for international approval. But how long shall a man wait to protect his family? No more. When the West hesitated, Africa acted. When they debated our destiny, we defined it. And from that decision rose a brotherhood, a new alliance, born not of politics, but of pain and perseverance. Mali, Niger, Burkina Faso. 3 nations once dismissed as fragile, now one defensive soul, the alliance of Sahel states. Together we have bled, together we have endured betrayal, and together we now rise. Information now flows from African hands to African minds, not filtered through foreign tongues, but through shared faith and shared struggle. And in that unity, we have found the one power every empire fears, the power of African cooperation without colonial supervision. They fear not our machines, they fear our mindset. They fear not the range of our rockets, but the reach of our awakening. For decades, our destiny was drafted in the capitals of others, Paris, Washington, Brussels. We read their scripts in silence, but now we hold the pen. They call it a shift in alliances. We call it a return to reality. Because the only alliance that matters is the one written in our own languages, forged by our own hands, and fought for with our own courage. But understand this, my people, power alone is not freedom. True independence is not the power to destroy. It is the discipline to build. A soldier's strength is not his weapon. It is the heart that guides his aim. So our revolution cannot stop at defense. It must continue into education, into justice, into truth. For if power is gained without wisdom, we become the very empire we fought to escape. They will say, look, Africa cannot handle its freedom. Let us prove them wrong. Not with words, with wisdom, with discipline, with unity. The next battle will not be fought in deserts, but in markets, not with bullets, but with blueprints. That is why we created the Sovereignty Fund, financed not by donors, but by the sweat of our own people. For too long, our gold has built their empires. Our uranium has powered their cities. Our youth have built their economies. No more. The wealth beneath our feet will no longer feed foreign banks. It will fuel African dreams. And let us not forget, the battlefield of our time is also the mind. Whoever controls the story controls the truth. They will say we are turning east. They are wrong. We turn inward, to ourselves. We do not kneel east or west. We stand upright, facing the sun. We seek partnership, not permission. We seek cooperation, not control. Africa is not a problem to be managed. It is a promise to be fulfilled. Freedom is not a trophy. It is a test. It demands vigilance. It demands honesty. But for continuity, for the right of every African child to learn without fear, to grow without hunger, to dream without debt. That is sovereignty, not missiles, not medals, but minds awakened. So I call now to the heart of the continent, to every brother and sister who hears these words. From Dakar to Dar es Salaam, from the Nile to the Niger, from the Cape to Cairo, the drums of sovereignty echo again. Rise, rise with pride, rise with purpose. This land belongs to those who love it, not to those who lecture it. Let our youth stop fleeing for hope. Let them build hope here. Let our factories rise. Let our fields feed our families. Let our flags wave not in submission, but in celebration, because Africa has no masters, only allies. The night the engines rolled through Burkina Faso, they called it a secret, but history will call it a signal that the age of dependency has ended. That night we did not only receive rockets, we received revelation. No empire, no sanction, no threat can silence a continent that has remembered its worth. So let them watch, let them question, let them doubt. For while they analyze our decisions, we are already building our destiny. The Sahel has spoken, Africa has awakened, and the world will never again sleep in comfort, because the night we stopped asking for permission was the night we took back our future. That night, the world slept, but Africa awoke, and it will never sleep again.